Hello, guys, and welcome. Thank you for being a part of the Thrive Energy Healers Summit. Today we have Alex Dumas. And Alex, would you please tell us what you do and share with us how you got into your profession?
Yeah, thank you, Oro. Appreciate that. Um, I am described as the life success creator, and what I do is I have fun helping people through
Mm-hmm.
the world of coaching, of
Mm-hmm.
mentorship, advice, consulting, things like that. But life coaching, business coaching is the path for me. That's
Mm-hmm.
where I'm shine. I help out people the most. And what was the second part of that question? I missed. Sorry.
Just share with us, excuse me, just your work and how you got into it.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, so to give everybody the quick cliff notes on that, my journey's been
Mm-hmm.
over the past few years. 2016 is where I was introduced to the world of coaching through a previous employer, and
Mm-hmm.
I just fell in love with it. My background's in psychology through school and
Mm-hmm.
working with individuals with special needs for a number of years. So
Mm-hmm.
helping people, being of service has been always a key thing for me. And once I found coaching and started to learn about it, invest in courses, invest in my
Mm-hmm.
own coaching, podcast, books, everything you can think of, just
Mm-hmm.
immersing myself into this world. It just made sense for me, and then started to actually apply the things I was learning and
Mm-hmm.
making a difference in people's lives, having conversations with them, helping them, and creating opportunities for people that
Mm-hmm.
they didn't really know were possible has been
Yeah.
really a blessing for my life. So I love what I do. It's gonna be something I do till I can't do it anymore, till I'm in the
Mm-hmm.
ground. And like I said, having fun helping people, that's the game I play.
I love that. I love that you seem really passionate about coaching. I think coaching is it's just I think it's such a calling for people because so many people need help. So many people need guidance out of whatever negative pathway they may be into, and sometimes I think it's hard for others to seek help. So it's really awesome that you're passionate about it and you're passionately willing to help people.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, and it's a result of two things. One, I always say this: coaching works because the transformation is done from my life with
Mm-hmm.
helping me get a lot of things sorted out
Mm-hmm.
and look at possibilities that were there. They were always there. It was just I needed to, oh, I could see it. Glasses off, like it's available to me, and then
Mm-hmm.
receiving it, and then also giving the gift of it to other people,
Mm-hmm.
and seeing where it's the classic before and after story. Before we had this conversation, they were this. Afterwards, they experienced this, and I can go on with
Mm-hmm.
stories of people I've helped, but just
Mm-hmm.
know that it works and it doesn't trend. It doesn't. This profession doesn't grow without it
Mm-hmm.
actually being useful and working. So
Yeah,
I'm here to
that's
contribute
true.
to it.
That's awesome. That was you kind of led a little bit into my next question.
So,
What are some extraordinary results you've gotten from yourself or for yourself or for your clients?
yeah, what I'll describe may not seem extraordinary on
Mm-hmm.
the surface, but for people who get it or that have had this happen in their lives, it will
Mm-hmm.
be. So I'll give you this one story. This conversation I had a little bit ago with a woman. We've been friends for a bit,
Mm-hmm.
and she had this dream or this vision of becoming a speaker and speaking in schools, and she already had I would say got her foot in the door with a school,
Mm-hmm.
and she did some work in there, did some workshops, and she had an opportunity to do more, and she
Mm-hmm.
had I guess you say the contact information of the vice principal, and they were good friends. Their daughters were in school together, this and that, and she
Mm-hmm.
had been sitting on it for a while. Like the woman gave her a number, said like, "Hey, I need help. I need support. This is what I'm looking for."
Mm-hmm.
And the person I'm coaching kind of sat on it, just did nothing with it. So we're
Mm-hmm.
having this conversation when we're talking. This is like a week from the time that she's got the number, got a green light to do this, and she still hasn't made the call.
Mm-hmm.
So we're on a conversation, we're talking about it. I'm like, all right, so let's just make this call right now. Let's just get it over with. And you can see the panic in her eye, like right now, like you mean
Mm-hmm.
right, like yeah, right now, like right here,
Yeah.
right now. What better time than now? So she does that. Boom, has an appointment set up, and followed up with a conversation with this vice principal a few days afterwards. This is like toward the middle of the week, and a few days later, she had this
Mm-hmm.
conversation, Now, that may not seem miraculous to some people, but
Mm,
what I see in that is the possibility of what happens when we have an inspired thought and we take
mhm,
that into inspired action, to an immediate action.
mhm,
And that's what I find is a separator for a lot of people, where I want this and it's going to take me this long. Well,
mhm.
let's close the distance. Let's close that gap, because it
Exactly.
doesn't need to take as long as you think it is. And then once you do that, what's the next thing we can do?
Mhm,
Right? Complete the task, next thing. And
mhm,
by the end of the day, you realize, like, wow, I've accomplished a lot. And it plays into this mindset of,
mhm.
well, I have to be confident before I do this. Well, no. Once you do it, you're going to get the confidence,
Yeah,
because you can trust
exactly.
yourself. You can believe your own word of, yeah, I am the person who does that. I am the person who
Mhm,
creates this. I am the person who does that. So
mhm.
that's what I help people do in a
That's
nutshell.
awesome. That's awesome. I was thinking to myself, like, that's exactly what a coach is for. It's to take you out of that comfortability, that state of comfortability. And it happens with me too, with my family member. I was so afraid to do the summit. I did not want to do this again. I was afraid to reach out to people, to have them even speak on the summit. And then she helped push me as a coach herself to do this. So I think that's profound and excellent how you got her to move from being comfortable in her discomfort and into thriving, which what
Mhm.
this summit is about, moving out of survival mode and into thriving.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
So would you mind telling us if you have an exercise that you use to help people move out of thriving? Like, what would be your methodology to move from survival mode to thriving?
Yeah, what I would invite people watching this to do is,
Mm-hmm.
I call this a game, called the courtroom.
Mm-hmm.
In the courtroom, you have your prosecution, your defense, and what I consider the prosecution is our limiting thoughts, beliefs, the gremlins in our mind, the little mosquitoes that are nagging and buzzing around saying, you're not this, you're not worthy of that, you can't do this, you can't do that. They're
Mm-hmm.
going to be there. They're always going to be there.
Oh yeah.
There's few things you can do to silence them,
Mm-hmm.
but what I invite you to do is build up your defense. And
Mm-hmm.
your defense is something that is not just about, well, I believe I can do this. Belief is great. I'm more interested in creating certainty.
Mm-hmm.
And certainty in this case is, well, this is the track record of people I've helped. This is my success journal, if you want to call it that. And being clear about it, being um, slowing your mind down enough a little bit to start giving yourself credit for
Mm-hmm.
where it is. So with my work with coaching,
Mm-hmm.
if you ask me questions about, I'm like, hey, I can talk to you about this story, because these are things that I'm constantly rehearsing in my mind. I'm
Mm-hmm.
constantly going back to, because when those moments come where I'm feeling doubtful, when I'm fearful, when I have worries, I I got to come back to my defense, because this is the truth. This is the evidence.
Mm-hmm.
This is what really happened. I've helped this
Exactly.
person. This is the words that people have said about me, and it's
Mm-hmm.
not necessarily about the external validation, but it just cements it. Of, you know what, I create myself to be
Mm-hmm.
lighthearted, powerful service. I know I'm a good coach. I know I'm this. And
Mm-hmm.
then once you have this other part of it where people have experienced that and they say, like, they're expressing to you, thank you for helping me, thank you for making a difference, thank you, blah blah blah, whatever. That's my defense. And now my question to the prosecution is, prove it. Prove I'm not. Prove I'm not worthy. Prove I'm
Mm-hmm.
ineffective. Prove I'm insignificant. Whatever it is, whatever the voices in your world are saying to you.
Mm-hmm.
But that courtroom, that defense, pile, that success journal
Mm-hmm.
is so valuable, because it's tangible things. It's
Mm-hmm.
not like, gosh, I hope I'm this. I'm No, this is
Mm-hmm.
this is real. This is concrete. This is real stuff.
Mm.
You you can't fight the evidence, right? So
Mm.
that's an exercise I would invite anyone watching this to participate in, and it's not going to
Mm.
be an easy, quick fix. That's the thing, right?
Yeah.
It takes time to slow down your mind
Mm.
and really observe, wow, what am I doing in the world? How am I helping? How am I being of service? And
Mhm.
when you can do that, and if you enjoy it and make it a game and make it fun for yourself, wow, it's a game changer.
Exactly, exactly. I love that. That was kind of leading into my next question of what can you take away, or what can the audience take away to help them move out of the, or shift into the atmosphere of thriving? But you technically answered it.
I mean, I can give you number one here. So,
Okay.
part of the way of shifting that's been useful for me
Mm-hmm.
is creation, and this is different from what you would consider affirmations or like goals, or they might be considered like your I ams, things like that. But
Mm-hmm.
really looking at things about you are true, and it's just, I hate to say it, like you're reaffirming it to yourself, but it's
Mm-hmm.
these are things that you know to be true, and then the evidence shows up, and right,
Mm-hmm.
you have like I said with the exercise with the courtroom, that's your evidence. But everywhere else, you get to find it, and you get
Mm-hmm.
to see these moments. For myself, it's like, wow, I get to see these moments where I'm generous listening to somebody, where I can hear them. Oh, that's great. That confirms that, like, I am that, I do that.
Mm-hmm.
uh, um, I'm happiness. I'm lighthearted, powerful service. I coach people fearlessly. I serve them powerfully. And when I have those moments, it happens. But the path for me that I found to do that was going deep and dark, and going
Mm-hmm.
through a process of what we call like compassion and self-forgiveness, and really
Mm-hmm.
laying it out, like journaling it out. There's so
Mm-hmm.
much power in the pen.
Oh
I
yeah.
really believe in that. And it's really an opportunity for you to get real and raw with yourself, and all those things, like, all the the prosecution, lay it out there. I'm this, I'm mad at myself for this, or I forgive myself for this, or how I treated this person, what I said to myself. And it's not something to impress people with. It's really for you. It's for you to express yourself in full, without judgment, without worrying like, oh, someone going to look at this later on. Like, no, this is you. This
Mm-hmm.
is you laid out, naked,
Mm-hmm.
vulnerable.
Yeah.
But from that process for me, when I found moments where I was like, I forgive myself for being angry and
Mm-hmm.
upset with this person, or hurt, or whatever. Well, what do I want to create from now? I want to create myself to be somebody who's happiness. I am happiness. That's my
Exactly.
new me. That's my new version. That's how
Mm-hmm.
I operate.
Mm-hmm.
It's not easy. It's not something that can be
No.
done in a day. It's going to take
Mm-hmm.
time. But if
Yeah.
you are open enough to do it for yourself, I would venture to say that you'll have a lot more satisfaction and fulfillment.
Mm-hmm. That sounds a lot about, it sounds a lot of like, what the hell? I still can't talk. Lord have mercy.
No, you're good. You're good.
It sounds a lot like shadow work and self-reflection. Um,
Yeah.
and I recommend that from here to the moon. I swear it's helped me a lot in my own healing journey to become a different person, someone way beyond the abuse I suffered in a narcissistic household. So I would say, yes, that is an amazing way to just 10x your healing. And not only that, to understand your triggers and understand why you're stuck in, how you would put a survival mode, or stuck in a place where um, you don't understand where to go or how to get out of a negative state of comfortability, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would recommend everyone trying that, because again, shadow work is something that just will 10x you as a human being. Um,
And if I can just add one last point to it,
yeah.
with the darkness inside of us and the light, if you have opportunity to not judge the darkness, because it was there, it was created for a reason, right?
Yes.
These things were created to protect you, or cope or deal with whatever situation you're going through. So it's not to make it wrong and like, boo, you're wrong, shame on you. It's like, hey, thank you for being a part of me,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't need you to
Mm-hmm.
be dominant in my life anymore.
Exactly. 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 I love that. I don't need you to kind of take charge anymore. It kind of sounds like you're almost talking to your inner child, because a lot of us are stuck in allowing our inner child to run us, if that makes sense. Like our inner child is still running the show as an adult.
Yeah.
We're still living in the trauma of from the age of 1 through 7, which are the years that your kind of consciousness develops, your mindsets develop, everything that you are going to learn that it like solidifies you as an adult or a person who's supposed to kind of grow up in the world is from 1 through 7. So I think I like how you're basically saying to challenge what you've been through in the past to fix what you're going through in the present, to become better in the present.
Yeah, and just recognizing that
Mm,
you are the author of the
yes.
story, and you're not this permanent thing that's been imposed on you by guardians, parents,
Mm,
society, friends, whatever. Like you
mm,
have the opportunity to really, really reinvent yourself at any moment that you have the ownership of that.
mm,
So use that ownership with grace,
mm,
with the things that are effective for you.
mm. That's awesome. Thank you for that.
Yeah, you're
Um,
welcome.
do you work alone or do you work with other coaches, healers, um, anything along the realms of someone who would do what you do or heal or all that jazz?
Yeah, great question. For the most part, it's me one on one with people.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I like to operate. Because I can go deep with them
Mm-hmm.
and create a safe space for them. I have been more open as of this year to working with others, and it's actually been really useful. Where myself and three other coaches we were able to create a live in-person event in January. Um, working with some other coaches with some DEI work and
Mm-hmm.
leading and facilitating training. So I definitely see the importance of having teaming up with people. It's
Mm-hmm.
definitely useful. It's definitely um, great for that aspect. But as far as what I do with people, as far as what I call creating coaching, that's just typically one on one.
Okay, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And how can people find you if they would like to work with you?
Yeah, if you want to connect with me, there's a couple different ways. TheRealAlexDumas.com is where you can find out about me, find out about different people I've worked with, and just other ways to connect with me. Alex at abundancedaily.com if you want to reach out to me directly. Anything I said in this summit interview has made a difference for you. Any insights, anything you can take away and you can actually apply if you've worked on your own courtroom or success journal, whatever you want to call it, if you have worked in your own declarations, your own creations of yourself, I'd love to have you share them with me. I'd love to read them and see what comes out from that and however best I can support you. Other than that, I'm on social media, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn at the real Alex Dumas. That's where you'll find me.
That's awesome. Okay. And who is your ideal client? Do you work with men and women or just men or just women?
Yeah, both. I don't exclude. Let's put it like that. I've worked with a lot of women, worked with a lot of men. The best work I've done has been with other coaches, entrepreneurs, other people that are in that space. But more so than I guess we can consider like the demographics. What I'm really interested in is like the psychographics of somebody. So my best work is with people who are fun, they're
Mm-hmm.
enthusiastic, they're determined, they're driven, they're relentless, and the key thing here is they have integrity. There's somebody who will do what they say they're going to do. They'll pay when they say they're going to pay. They're going to show up when they say they're going to show up. It's it's these things like it's these minor details, but that relaxes my mind to know that I don't have to worry about this person. They if I send them off to do something, they're going to do it. And if they tell me this is what they've tried, I know that's the real deal. It's not, oh, did you really? Like so. It's not not everybody's a perfect package that way, but fun and enthusiasm and integrity are probably like that's those are the keys for me as
Okay.
someone.
Okay, that's cool. Great, great, great.
Yeah.
And do you have a free gift for the audience or anything else you'd like to promote that's upcoming for you?
Yeah, as far as for the audience goes, I have a free audio recording. I actually recently just redid a new one, so I call it the UNFUN Coach: Three
Mhm.
Distinctions to Create Powerful Coaching
Mhm.
Experiences. And so I'm happy to share that out with you all. It's about a half hour of me just sharing a couple different stories
Mhm.
and these distinctions that I found in coaching, and and it's also got some music. I love to make music, so I have it as a backing track. So if you want to work out to it, go for a
Mhm.
run, go for a drive. You'll have a little bit of entertainment, a little something there, but also some meat with the words and the actual messages inside. So happy to share that with the audience too.
That's awesome. Okay, thank you for sharing. Thank you so much for your time today. I'm really grateful that you came and endured me being all over the place.
Oh, listen, we're people, right? We get to be all over the place. We get to be everywhere and nowhere at the same time.
Yeah, right, right. But thank you again for coming here. And again, I'm really grateful for having you. And that's going to wrap up our interview.
Awesome. Thank you. Appreciate you.